All right, family. Peace and love, everybody that's tuning in. We're late night, 11:45, and this is the last day in October. Last 15 minutes in October out here in Arizona, and I wanted to come here and really just show you guys where the remedy is within Title 15. So a lot of people are seeking remedy. A lot of people are, yes, able to get deletions, but B, I want to show y'all how to now come here and get remedy as well too. So today specifically we're not going to dive too heavy into all the laws and codes, but I'm going to show you guys where at within the sub chapters that we cover where the remedy is, how to come hold them civilly liable or criminally liable within the sub chapters in which we are exercising. And so for starters, we're going to take you guys to truth in lending. And so there's two different codes in which we'll be able to use, in which will allow us to get remedy within truth in lending specifically. So the first one is going to be Title 15. I want everybody to write this down. I want everybody to go print this out, and I want everybody to go highlight the key pointers in which I'm going to break down within these different codes. And so I want y'all to write as a title, Run Me My Money, Run Me a Bag. And that's what we're going to cover today, is how to get the bag, how to go out and get the bag once we've gotten deletions, because deletion is admission. Admission to what, CreditGotti? Admission to them breaking federal laws. That's them admitting finally to them and owning up to their wrongs in essence. And so Title 15 USC 1611 states whoever willfully and knowingly, one, gives false or inaccurate information or fails to provide information in which he is required to disclose under the provision of this subchapter or any regulation issued thereunder. So right away, if they're willfully and knowingly giving false or inaccurate information, I want everybody to go once again look in a Black's Law dictionary. If you guys are not on the Discord, make sure you guys join the Discord. We've dropped within the Discord multiple different copies of a Black's Law dictionary where you guys can go seek the true definitions of these words. Once you guys go look up the definition of accuracy, or fails to provide information which he is required to disclose under the provision of this subchapter or any regulation issued thereunder. Also, number 3 states otherwise fails to comply with any requirement, any, remember, anytime we see that word any, right, we want to put emphasis upon this. Any requirement imposed under this subchapter shall be fined not more than $5,000. So for every violation up until this point, so 1605, 1601, 1604, 1602, that's $5,000 in which they shall be fined or imprisoned not more than 1 year or both. So this right here is really coming to them with power. Title 15 USC 1611. Now if we come here to 1640, which this is after the right of rescission, this is after going through the finance charge, this is after going through the whole credit transaction as a whole. So after we've gone through the credit transaction, 1640 is where we'll hold them civilly liable. And so I want you guys to see the amount of money that's within 1640 as a whole. So number 1 states any actual damage sustained by such person as a result of the failure. Then it states down here, in the case of an individual action, it's twice the amount of any finance charge in connection with the transaction. So if they've, started a down payment, if they've included insurance within it, if they didn't disclose certain, disclosures, and they were willfully and knowingly, not providing certain documents or, going over certain, requirements in which they're required to disclose with you, this is a violation of 1640, and this is double the finance charge. So this is during the credit transaction process. So our credit's already been ran. The moment our credit is ran, there has been a finance charge that arose. This finance charge is double the finance charge. So that's why I always let you guys know to go out and demand that agreement that you have with them, demand the contract you guys have with them, because within there, you guys are going to see a truth in lending disclosure, and this disclosure is going to have a finance charge, the amount financed, the APR, which all the APR is just the finance charge in a percentage form. And from there, you guys will be able to see the total finance charge. And per each violation that you guys find, up until the point of 1640 within truth and lending, is double the finance charge. Out of all the other ones we're going to cover, none of them are double the finance charge. So within truth and lending, this is where we can get the most, for our bucks. This is where we can come and get reparations, you know, uh, more than any other subchapter within truth and lending. And this is 15 USC 1640. And I don't want you guys to believe what I'm stating. I want you guys to go read for self. And this is things in which I'm educating and breaking down more clear and in depth within the mentorship. And that's the thing with the mentorship. Everything in which I'm teaching in the mentorship is just more in depth. All I'm doing is reading. But all you guys have to do is go out and read this information. It's right here in front of you guys. I'm pointing you guys and leading you guys towards the information. Now it's your part to go out and read. And so 1640 is where we'll come and get the remedy within truth and lending, as well as 1611. Now, if we come here, we're still within chapter 41. I'm going to keep you guys within chapter 41 on today's call. Now we're going to hop into the FCRA. So there's about 3 within the FCRA. So the first one is Title 15 USC 1681N, and this is civil liability for willful non-compliance. So this is for them not complying with you. Any person who willfully fails to comply with any requirement under this subchapter with respect to any consumer is liable to that consumer in an amount equal to the sum of any actual damage sustained by the consumer. So what are the damages that have been done to you guys? That's why when it comes to you going through the disputing process, it's okay if you don't get if right away you don't get what you guys are seeking, because now we've gone out, we disputed with them. Now after we've disputed, per se, we're looking and in the market for a vehicle. It just so happened to be that we were looking for a vehicle at that time, and that was a damage that was done because I need a vehicle to get me to and from work. I need housing, for me and my family so that we're not homeless on the streets. So that was the damage that has been done. So, family, ask yourself, what are the damages that have been done? Mental distress, marital instability. What is it specifically in regards to what you guys are going through? All right. Or it can be up to $1,000 or not less than 100. So anywhere from 100 to $1,000, you guys can, you know, invoice them per each violation, family. So this is 1681N. Now, if I tell you guys this is 1681, oh, this is civil liability for I always get this word mixed up. Negligent non-compliance. Negligent non-compliance. So any person who is negligent in failing, let me send this text up real quick. So negligent non-compliance. Any person who is negligent in failing to comply with any requirement imposed under the subchapter. So if they're not willing to comply and they're being negligent through it, any requirement imposed under the subchapter with respect to any consumer is liable to that consumer in an amount equal to the sum of, here we go with the damages, or in the case of any successful action enforced, any liability under this section, the cost of the action together with reasonable attorney fees as determined by the court. So, this would be if you guys are looking to take any legal, steps, and if you guys are looking to take them through arbitration. 1681O. 1681Q is obtaining information under false pretenses. So this is another one in where we'll really come to them with power and come to seek that remedy. So any person who knowingly and willfully obtains information on a consumer from a consumer reporting agency under false pretenses shall be fined under Title 18 or imprisoned for not more than 2 years or both. So we're not only talking about remedy, but we're talking about in one, there's got to be an actual natural person involved in, held liable, because the corporation is not going to be sentenced anytime. So that's why when you guys are sending these letters, you guys want to be speaking with the CFO of these companies. And so now I'm going to take you guys here to 1692, which is the FDCPA, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. And within here, there's just one, one code for holding them civilly liable. And this is Title 15 USC 1692K. And so I always cover on cornelllaw.edu. You guys can go through, and if you guys are on a laptop version, or a mobile or a desktop version, you guys can go through and find, the findings a lot easier. Like, for instance, if there's been unfair practices, I can click on 1692F. If they've been harassing me or abusing me, I can click on 1692D. If they've been using false or misleading representations, 1692E. So it's up to you guys in which, you guys can use in regards to such. And so 1692K, any actual damage sustained by such person as a result of such failure. So even in the denial of credit, a lot of people are like, yo, I've been denied credit. That's actually good, So in regards to, that's a damage that's been done. Like I was just mentioning earlier. If you've been denied credit, that's a damage right there that's been done. What is the damage? What was the need for the credit card? What was the need for, the auto loan, the vehicle? What was the need for the housing, right? What are the damages? Only you guys can define what the damages are. And then it also talks about up to $1,000 as well too, per each violation within 1692K. So I want everybody to come in here and study these codes that we specifically went over on today's call. Those are all the remedy within the three main subchapters in which we do cover: truth in lending, the FCRA, and the FDCPA. And so I don't want to spread you guys thin. I don't want to, I'll take you guys here to the Equal Credit Opportunity Act as well too, because we do cover a lot within here in terms of the denial of credit, them discriminating against us. And this one will be Title 15 USC 1691E. And this is the civil liability. Any creditor who fails to comply with any requirement imposed under the subchapter shall be liable to the aggrieved applicant for any actual damages sustained by such applicant acting either in an individual capacity or as a member of a class. And so, family, we must specify what the damages were and how much we're seeking. So if you guys are going the damages route, make sure to be clear on the damages that have been caused and have taken place, and how much you guys are seeking for the damages in which have taken place. And so that's everything for today's call. That's how you go out and get the bag, is exercising these. We're going to send this to the creditor specifically, or the debt collector if the debt collector is attempting to collect debt. And we've had it with the debt collector. So now I'm going to come to the debt collector and hold them liable under the FDCPA, which is 15 USC 1692K. And so something that I was covering as well too, that if you guys are not in any of the membership levels, I highly recommend you guys do such. In regards to, I just dropped how to file a CFPB complaint, how to file a Better Business Bureau complaint, how to file an Attorney General complaint as well too. See, these are things and different, ways in which we can go about disputing these accounts, on top of sending in personal direct mail. These are online disputes that you don't even have to leave the comfort of your home to discharge these accounts as a whole. You can get these accounts fully removed. You guys can get the bag without ever having to go to the post office. You guys can do this all from the comfort of your guys' phone or home. What do we do if they send a rebuttal? Is that when you move to sue? And so if they send a rebuttal, no, like not right away. You want to go through that whole administrative process. So you want to go through cease and desist. You want to go through debt validation. You want to make sure you have some affidavits sent out. And there's also more to our administrative process. I'm dropping and putting together still our YBC University, which will be here and it will be launched by the end of the first week in November. So we're just fixing some bugs and some errors on the mobile app end. But through there, I'm going to break down our administrative process and how to go through and delete any account. And that's when we'll be launching and releasing the 3 ebooks I've been mentioning, with 2 of them being children's books, and then 1 of them being how to delete any account off your guys' consumer report. So those will also be included and entailed within YBC University, which will be here within the next week, family. So definitely stay tuned for everything that we have in regards to the university. You guys can see in the description, I put together some more links for you guys. The mentorship, we got that broken down a lot more as well too. We're still, configuring and dropping in the qualification questions, to where when you guys do go to the mentorship or the franchise, the questionnaire will be right then and there on the checkout. We're adding, I was just on the phone with a financing company, and we're going to be able to offer financing for our packages and services as well too. So individuals don't have to come in and pay the full upfront cost of our packages, and they're able to just make month-to-month payments. And all while making these month-to-month payments, they're able to also add on a whole new trade line and build out their consumer report as well too. And so that's what we're looking to add on to everything that we do have going on, so that you guys can get access to me one-on-one, so we can help you guys with your process. So through your process, we can get these other debts discharged, so that we can now, leverage our consumer report and acquire, the benefits from leveraging it, our consumer report, and being in control of the consumer report. I've been talking to a couple people that have scheduled some phone calls, and I've been letting them know the importance of controlling that consumer report. See, what I want you guys to understand, and what I'm going to leave you guys off with, is without a consumer report, there's no credit score. But without a credit score, there's still a consumer report. So it's all about controlling that consumer report. And as we can control that consumer report, that's where the power comes. And so controlling the consumer report, understanding consumer law, allows you to control that consumer report. It allows us to discharge any debts on a consumer report. Have you guys seen the luxurious car, place in which I was at today, which we're going to be doing some big business with? One of the big, bosses in there, has some credit cards in which he racked up, in which he had done business with somebody, and where this person told them, yo, I'll help you, acquire 80,000 in credit and funding, and this funding will help you build businesses, etc. And they maxed out and they utilized, 100% of the credit cards, and he's in a position now and where he's like, okay, I got all this debt and it's all utilized, but I don't, but he didn't actually, receive it. The guy who helped him liquidated all the cards. And so why I'm mentioning this is because he was thinking about acquiring a whole loan just to pay off these credit cards, but he met me for a reason. I came there. I'm like, yo, we can discharge every single one of those credit cards. You don't have to pay not a dime back for any of those credit cards. And so that's what we're going to go through and do. I'm excited for that testimony to come out and the things that's going to come with everything going forward with that. So super excited, super blessed, super duper grateful for all that has aligned, and all that continues to align, and just trust the process, family, above all else. But that's everything that I wanted to bring forth to you guys today. I have to connect with you. I've sent all that notarized as well. I kept copies. They still act as if they did no wrong. So look for the arbitration clause. Once you find that arbitration clause, definitely reach out to me and we could go get some remedy. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you guys have tuned in, if you guys are tuning in from the recording, let's make sure that we like this video. Let's make sure that the algorithm and everything that you guys can do on your end to get this information out there more. I'm here providing this daily. That's all I can do. I'd appreciate it. I know others would appreciate it if we can get this information out. So let's like the videos. Let's comment something that we learned. Let's also share this with 3 to 5 individuals that may be going through the same situation, because a mentor of mine told me if I got access to certain information and I'm not sharing it, and I know this information can help other people, it's selfish of me not to share this information. So as always, family, I'll see you all at the top because the bottom is way too crowded, family. Peace, love, and light. CreditGotti. He's out.